Hey everybody, ronarray here, and as you probably know, the new Path of Exile league, Necropolis, has been announced. After sleeping a few days with it and talking with many people about the changes, I can clearly say that in my opinion, GGG nailed it with Necropolis. Since PoE 2 is near, a lot of people expected Necropolis to be a mediocre league that will be rest after Affliction and before PoE 2 release. But GGG decided to do a gargantuan endgame overhaul, changing a lot of things in both progression and endgame itself. Let's talk more about them and how they will affect us all. You can see all the topics on the screen right now, please use the timestamps to navigate between them. First off is the removal of Sextants. Sextants were crazy important for a long time. They provided a lot of value for every type of farming strategies out there and made us all, well, rich. However, bulk buying hundreds of them every time were tedious and many people hated it so much. So the removal of Sextants is pretty much a big step against the necessity of third-party trade tools that help with bulk buying. We will still retain profit Sextants provided, or at least part of it, in form of scarabs, but managing and buying them should be much easier from now on, and I think it's a step in the right direction. However, we are losing at least some farming options, due to the absence of some buffs from Sextants on scarabs, and it will heavily reshuffle meta farming, which could be a good thing too. Another thing to consider there is that Sextant rolling by itself in the hideout were one of the most profit viable hideout warrior strategies. Removing it will make more people play instead of getting corrosive while staying in the hideout. And it seems that GGG consider it a good thing and want to push it forward as well. Master missions are gone too. It seems that GGG want to lower the amount of bloat in the game right now, so removing some of the older customization options is inevitable. We still have masters in game, however it will be harder to chain farm them, and it will hurt some strategies such as beast farming for example, which will lead to higher prices for different kind of resources such as beasts, alvas temples and stuff like that. It is hard to say now if it's a bad decision or a good decision, but it's definitely bold to remove the cornerstone that's been there for years, and many people actually like it. Maven invitations are now free, so in 3.24 Maven invites are gone. Now when Maven watched enough required maps, you can just go to Kairok and open the needed invite for free. It can still be modified for better quantity, so don't worry about that part. You still can buff your invites. This change goes together with both previous ones and mostly there to lower the amount of trading and bloat in the game in general. GGG follows the formula of less trading and more playing, which aligns with what I would like to see in the game myself as well. It also eliminates yet another farming strategy, which focused on selling basic invites. Specific maps on the other hand will cost significantly more now, so both rush approach will probably still stay strong and pretty viable. Tier 17 maps and harder challenges. So GGG already touched the territory with Vaaling Maps introduction in Affliction. However, Tier 17 maps are unexpected development of that idea. They should be both rewarding and challenging, and as we could see during the announcement, the monster modifiers on them could be pretty insane. The biggest question is how easily obtainable they will be, since you will need a lot of supply to chain farm them, and it could lead to bulk trading necessity again, even if GGG wanted to reduce the amount of it. The second question is how profitable they will be overall. Keystones for Ubers are gone, and you need to farm new fragments to fight Ubers. This part is mostly connected with current economy and game progression, where many players just sell Uber's boss invites without fighting them, because it could be hard to maximize profit from them. And GGG is perfectly aware of the situation, so after the change there will be at least some point to farm non-Uber version of the bosses, since the drop will be different based on the shape for example. However, I think that normal version will become much less important, and will probably be ignored by a huge chunk of player base. Yet, it still could be a good change, especially for new and soul self-farm players. Talking about economy, it takes away one of the prominent and pretty popular ways to farm, Uber invites farm, and will lower the effectivity of boss rush as well. Unidentified maps from Vaaling are gone. So well, now you can't receive the unidentified map as a result of Vaaling them. Instead, they will get an implicit. This change will make unidentified maps more expensive, if the strategy of farming them will survive the Sextant change and will be on some scarps, for example. Well, if not, then just remove partially annoying things that could lead you to go into map without knowing what's inside, and it could be a good thing as well. Quality of life changes. Well, there have been a lot of those announced. So now you can link stuff with fusings while opening your brain completely and just clicking. Move currency in chunks, and Pantheon catch gods will be shared across your characters in the league. You also will be able to see the craft results in Harvest bench, without hovering on the item every time, which is a huge buff for sure. They're also adding a way to reroll Elder and Shaper fragments with Harvest, but looking at the price, I don't really think it will be pretty popular, especially since they can be rerolled into each other. So paying 800 yellow juice for just one change sounds a little too much for me. However, some other of the quality of life changes surely controversial. For example, removing an option to use the skill from the left click and adding 2 support gems instead, Call to Arms and Automation, to replace this important way to trigger many instant skills. Right now this change sounds pretty bad for many players due to a few reasons. So first off, it will require +1 slot in your build. Second, cooldown is higher than left clicking, so uptime will be worse. And the last reason, some of the skills such as Focus or Detonate just can't be supported by those gems like at all. So let's hope that GGG will be able to find some solution for this, which could be bringing left click usage back, while keeping the gems in the game, and adding some new cool benefits for them like slightly lowered CDR or some other small bonuses. My thoughts. Aside from the left click situation, I generally love what GGG decided to do in the Necropolis, and what direction they have chosen to move forward. Moving the game towards less hideout or trading type, and more towards just playing, is the right choice in my opinion, which could benefit us all, because we are here to play the game, and not to stay in the hideout for a lot of time. And I think if people really want to craft or to do some kind of hideout warrior techniques, they still will be able to do that. It just will be less mandatory. I also think it's great that we have such a huge update so close to PoE 2 release, so we will be occupied and will have much more fun before the huge PoE 2 update will be released. Later on, I'm going to do a few more videos about Necropolis changes and my thoughts on balancing builds and stuff I'm going to work on during the league. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to tag along, please like the video and subscribe for more RPG content. See you next time.